Then you gonna make your mind, 'cause things are gonna change so fast.
There's a juxtaposition right there, Mick. It's
Yeah.
Tori Amos,
Yeah.
it's her song Winter,
Yeah.
and the last time Mick was on the program, it was March 10th, 2009, you broke out singing that song, and it's created waves everywhere you've gone.
Man, you asked me, you know, what was the secret to doing some of these intense matches, and I said 3 words, you know, Tori Amos songs, and then something compelled me to bust it out. Yeah, that song honestly has meant so much to me, and there would not be a book without her. You know, I wrote the first chapter called Meeting Tori Amos. It's not the first chapter in the book, but chronologically, as far as writing it,
right.
The first chapter I wrote, and I just could not stop thinking about this meeting I had with her in July of 2008. I mean, I was still really on a buzzing.
When you,
know.
came in here, like just off camera, you were raving to me about that experience, and you were like almost like a little kid when it came to going up and talking to her.
Yeah. If you want to know what a 300-pound man floating looks like, that would be me after that talk. And I couldn't figure out why I couldn't let go of it. It wasn't like a creepy thing. You know, my wife thought it was kind of creepy, but I felt like it was a very sincere feeling. And then I just sat down in Dublin, Ireland, and over the course of 3 days, it took me about 22 hours to write that first draft, and that was Meeting Tori Amos. And so I'm the only person in literary history, or at least in wrestling/literary history, to pitch a book to publishers based on one chapter, which really did not have it did have a lot to do with wrestling, but it was not
to me,
a
it's
wrestling
very
chapter
cool.
per se.
It's very cool, Mick. Are you going to break out singing today?
I think we've got a videotape to prove that I can do it.
We do. You can check out our blogs. You can go onto YouTube, see what we're talking about.
May I say that I was worried about whether or not she would like to be in her own chapter in a wrestling book. It turned out she was very flattered, and she even sang Winter for me at Radio City Music Hall in New York City.
It doesn't get much better than that. That's just one of the many chapters in this book. There's chapters included with journal entries, basically 35 days. It was a countdown to lockdown, Mick. And one chapter that stood out for me was your relationship, or how things ended, with Mr. McMagical. Vince McMahon, obviously, and you know you weren't supposed to be saying disparaging things about Vince, but you sharing the story about him dropping F-bombs over in your ear during a broadcast.
It was so unlikely, because Vince had really been good to me. You know, we had a rocky relationship here and there, but Vince, at the end of the day, really respected the fact that I had my own, you know, what he thought were kind of unique worldviews and views on wrestling, and he liked me, and he, you know, on a personal level and a professional level, he liked me and respected me. So I wasn't used to being spoken to that way, and I've since come to realize it's not the person, it's the job, and that's just the way Vince produces. You know, he is a micromanager, and it's hard to argue with his track record, but you know, we say it's a free country, you know, like my contract was coming up. I did not enjoy the job, so I stopped doing it. But I'll forever be glad I had the opportunity to try it, because now I don't sit back and say, I wonder how that announcing would have worked out.
Do you know what my take reading that is? That this is a guy in Vince who's been doing that job with a whole lot of pressure for so long. And I just wonder how much he has left in the tank, how much he has left to give to this industry.
I have no idea. I mean, he is the most energetic person I've ever met, besides Dixie Carter, my current boss, who I want to praise.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
No, Dixie's awesome. And I'm really glad I have the opportunity to work for her. It's given me a second chance to really make a difference after I felt like my difference-making days were done in WWE. But Vince, you know, he's an extraordinary guy. I think his wife would have made a good U.S. senator.
Yeah, you blogged about that as well.
Yeah. I guess it was writing about Linda, kind of sticking up for her, for WWE and wrestling in general. And I felt like I was sticking up for myself, because I thought it was entirely fair to disagree with Linda on her political stances, but don't attack wrestling and make it seem like the fact that she kicked JR in the crotch makes her a poor choice for U.S. senator. You know, come on. So I was just kind of, you know, standing up and saying, you know, for myself, for the business, for WWE, for Linda, and I think they really appreciated it.
Here. We're going to go to break. I'm going to let you think about, because I'm going to ask you the question how much you personally have left in the tank when it comes to wrestling.
Zippo.
Oh, he's already answered it already.
Nada.
We'll figure out something else to ask Mick Foley when we return right here inside the Casino Room and Grill Room. This one.